Hmm.
Wait a couple minutes for people to find it.
Yeah.
I should have I should have probably put a scheduled time up, and then it puts notification up better.
Well, as we wait for more than four people to come in, if you just watched that, or you haven't watched that, it's on three channels. I prefer you watch it on Mux's channel to give him some clicks and views because he has been coming out with some
It's
good
actually
stuff. And yeah,
it's
the other,
actually uh, it's actually not on any channels right now.
oh, you took it down already?
Yeah, it will be re-uploaded. I'll
Oh, okay.
explain here.
Everybody's racing to find out where it was, and it's not there. I think there was more interest in that than most Finkel stuff.
Well, I think the most interest in that was the anti-Chris people.
Yeah, I think they're more interested in it because the people who are still pro Chris don't want to hear what my opinion is the unraveling of his narrative for quite a while. How you doing, Hot Mess? Now,
Well,
I did get your text. You were early in reviewing it, and you thought I was taking one side. Um, when I reviewed it, I thought that I was consistently not sure which human side to take. So I reached to my higher power and asked for my higher power's will to be done because I don't know all the answers. And Chris didn't understand that. God's will, that's wrong. I'm like, no, God's will is not wrong.
well, well, I agreed with you on that, where he said, "Oh, that's wrong." But I really, if I was an objective observer,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
and you were giving out points like in a boxing match or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to give the decision to Chris. I don't, I don't think you came off as very objective. You seem to keep wanting to defend Todd, and you also, and I know I might do this every once in a while, but you tended at times to be a bit smug and sarcastic, and
I did put that down on my 10 step. I was smug, I was sarcastic, and at one point I was a bit rageful. But
yeah,
what others may
yeah,
think I'm, oh, go ahead.
when you jumped off on that thing right off with taking the oath, that was just out of nowhere.
Hmm. Hmm. I shouldn't be eating on screen. I'm mukbang.
Yeah, if if you would have just said, "Look, I've taken an oath 3 times, la 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 la," it'd be fine. But you were like, "I took an oath,"
Yeah.
just so that made you look bad.
Well, the rage, I agree. The rage did not sound good. The words were spot on, and it wasn't necessarily to defend the person we know as generally specific. It was to defend the constitutional rights of anybody. And in
Yeah,
this case, it pertained to generally specific, but I wasn't necessarily defending that individual. I was supporting everyone's freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to travel, freedom to access public spaces. And that was my
I,
whole stance in that conversation.
I know. I was thinking of that, and I agree with you on that. When Chris is saying, "I don't want him on my sidewalk," well, you don't have a choice unless you finally get that protection order, and say, um, "Todd cannot come within 100 yards of your property" or something. But I was thinking, you know what? That's not going to do a lot of good anyway, because that just will be for one specific person. It's not going to accomplish everything he wants. Well, unless there's any things in the order too about what Todd's allowed to say online and all that.
Yeah, I think what I perceived Chris was saying he feared was not Todd himself, but some imaginary 10 people coming after his 10-year-old son, stepson, whatever. Yeah, such a protection order will not protect him from those imaginary 10 people. So what, I mean, yeah, and for whatever reason, I guess it was a jurisdiction issue. Whatever reason, the judge agreed. There's no reason to deprive someone of their Second Amendment right, their First Amendment right. Actually, now I think about it, I don't know where in the Constitution we have a right to travel, but access public places, that's just a given right. It's public. I will be up shortly in this, Chris. All right, Buster's in charge of this. Go ahead.
GMK made a good point, by the way, which it's kind of a semantical point, but then again, he is a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
When you were saying about him wanting to deprive Todd of his rights, well, he can't. Only the government can deprive you. He might be asking the government to impose sanctions on his rights, but like I say, it's just more of a semantic issue.
Well, that's a good point. He didn't violate Todd's rights, Jess's rights. He asked the government to. He asked the judge to, and out of abundance of caution, the courts temporarily did that, pending the trial of the day I was driving up here, and the trial would confirm or deny whether that was an appropriate request to deprive this man of his rights. And the court saw fit to say, no, well, I get it. It was a jurisdictional issue. Well, remember, Chris first tried it in the correct jurisdiction, and it was also turned down. Well, I don't know. And I don't know. Go ahead.
I don't know all the legal reasoning behind it and stuff, though, either.
That's a good point. I don't know the full context. I don't know the full legal reasoning. I don't know what evidence each party brought to the court. All I know is I literally prayed for God's will. I didn't pray for GS. I didn't pray for a 10-year-old, and I didn't pray for Chris or Tiffany. I prayed for God's will.
And why be bothering God with petty bullshit like this? He's got wars and shit to worry about. Well, and Todd, I saw your comment that you'll be up in a bit unless Chris gets here first. As far as I'm concerned, you can both come up at the same time, and it's survival of the fittest. And by survival of the fittest, I mean which one of you I kick out first. If you can both come up here and behave and carry on a conversation, which I have doubts, and I won't say which party I have the most doubts about, we could actually have a conversation. But if anybody comes up and starts ranting and raving, no.
I can't remember if I said it in text or in chat or verbal, but Muxter's running this particular show. I think it's a mistake to have them both up, but you're in charge, man. I'm just eating pizza.
Well, I mean, there's a good chance they both come up and it would last about 1 minute and then there'd just be one of them again. So, but I'm willing to give them a chance to be adults.
At this point in time, my opinion is Todd has more ability in that area. Now, granted, my opinion is not the end-all be-all to facts and YouTube knowledge. All this time, if anyone said something and Chris said something else, I kind of blindly followed Chris. And a lot of that mental narrative is built up. When I look back at it, I don't know if JJ really emptied a magazine on a guy for rolling through a stop sign. I really don't know. The reason I think that is because Chris said it and repeated it, and then Hill Pirate Studios repeated it, and then it just kept getting repeated. And now it's just believed to be fact. And, looking back on this, we never saw any real evidence on that. All we saw was Chris say it and everyone else repeat it. And now that Chris is talking about stuff in my circle that I know about, I can see that Chris is perfectly capable of lying and getting it wrong. And that's really making me question, is all this shit wrong about Ray White, J.J. Scarborough? No one will ever convince me I'm wrong about Robert Wrangler. Shiz brought those receipts. That's where that narrative came from, and those were hard receipts. But this whole Meade County thing, I'm like, I get it. For over a year and a half, maybe 2 years, we've built up this image in our heads that these are facts. And as I think about each fact, it's coming from a man in the last few days has proven to me to be dishonest or inaccurate. I don't know, maybe he's not intentionally being dishonest, but he's clearly wrong on a lot of issues.
Well, he definitely sees everything according to how it affects him.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
very, everything is, yeah, a paranoid narcissist. I don't know the correct terms, but misperceiving. He took it because I disagree with him on the current issue with GS. That I'm going with GS on everything, that I'm turning against for public safety. The only thing I disagreed with for public safety was on this current particular issue. But now that I'm seeing he's willing to lie about that, I'm like, oh, I never saw evidence for these other things that have been repeated and we just take as gospel. And I apologize, I can't really see the chat, and it's moving too fast. Even I do see Oda May. There are a few other chats. I'm like, what was that? I'm not even going to try and keep up. Muxer has control of the panel. If he wants you to come up, if you want to come up, it's really in his power. I'm glad. I'm glad I got to watch it. I was snarky. I was mean. And at one point I was rageful. And I'm glad you pointed that out too, because on that I swore an oath to the Constitution bit. The rage in my voice took away in people's minds the value of the words. I heard a big
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we'll give him a second. I think a lot of people, I think the majority of people actually who watched it are Todd fans. So you're not going to be able to go much by what's in chat. And I'll also say this, before I finally received it, I thought Chris was going to be much more of a maniac than he was.
Yeah,
so anyway.
There's less rage in his and Tiffany's voice than I had remembered in my head. We do get things wrong, especially when we're upset and we're driving and we're watching out for the state troopers. Yeah, I admit I wasn't totally focused, and when I pulled over and changed the memory cards, I wasn't sure exactly what I just did, what exactly I just said. So I'm very happy that finally I get to see what I said. I like to I mean, there's 3 camera angles you could have used. I like seeing my own face. I'm not too happy with my belly, but I got to see my body language for what it is with the Bell's palsy, and my words, and yeah, that's a good learning tool for me. Thank you, by the way.
It was hard. It was hard enough finding the files for the right for it at all.
Oh,
because there's all those tiny files. I've never had to deal with them before. Anyway, let's see how this goes. Hello, Chris.
Hey.
You're on.
So when you realized that maybe you misinterpreted something somebody said and you've been angry for a while, are you capable of reeling it back, or is the damage already done?
I accept that I was wrong in my snarkiness.
Oh, wait. Pause a second. Sure. Because there wasn't anybody in here when we were talking about it. But for Chris and Tiffany's information, that video is down already. Yeah, I will re-upload it after fixing that one part that I missed, and I don't want to emphasize that anymore.
What's the point? What's the point?
Well, I mean, if you want me to just put it up as is, but I'm not going to do that.
Any of this? What is the point?
The point is,
let's get back though. I forget what. You asked Finkel about backpedaling or whatever, right?
We'll go to that, and then I'm going to ask what's the point, because first of all, Muster, you misinterpreted what I said. I didn't say Finkel was faking anything. So, yeah, you've been pretty mad for a long time over that. I don't know if you're going to be able to reel that back. But what I said
You're
is that I believe
you,
it was more severe than Bell palsy.
no, 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 no.
What do you mean, no?
Your words that were in chat that I
I
have
know what I said.
screenshotted was
Screenshot.
I don't buy the Bell's palsy.
That's correct. I said, I'm not buying the Bell's palsy thing. I think it's much worse. I think it's affected his mind. And I said, you should be a good friend and try to do an intervention. But that's the opposite of me saying he's faking. So I don't know if Finkel's going to be able to reel that back in his mind or not, because you've had him really mad about that for several days now. That's not
Actually,
what I said.
He was less mad about it than me.
Well, he can't quit talking about it. So,
Well,
I mean,
now you made him
clarify,
storm
I'm
off.
not angry about it, but I am doing my best to correct the record. Bell's palsy is not in the brain. It is a nerve right here.
which is why I said I'm not buying Bell's palsy as a diagnosis. I'm not a doctor, but what I do know is that you've become a completely different person and you lack empathy. You don't care about hurting the kids, Tiffany, nothing. And that is not like you. And I think that I just don't understand this.
Okay. And that's your perception from however many miles away, having never met me. The truth is I have too much empathy. And the diagnosis comes from not one, not two, but three medical doctors, one of them being a neurologist.
Well, then why'd you flip? Why are you suddenly, you don't care about hurting Tiff or her kids?
I am not hurting Tiffany. I am not hurting.
You don't care about her kids getting hurt. You don't care about her getting hurt.
I didn't say that. I don't want anybody to get hurt. What I'm finding out is you are very capable of either lying or getting it wrong. I don't know if you do it intentionally or not. And as these things continue to reveal themselves, I'm losing trust in everything that you've said.
All you're doing is listening to Kaiser's people.
Kaiser
That's all you're doing.
people. Kaiser's in prison. He doesn't have.
Yeah, but his people that he trains are here in your chat. That's who you got. That's who Todd's reeling to. I can't hear a damn thing. That's who Todd's reeling to. That's all it is.
What I
Can
have.
you read them? Because I got recordings of them from 2 years ago.
Well, good for you.
Well, that's
what
who's
I've
here.
seen unravel are stuff that I'm aware of, and you say the things that are inaccurate, up to and including near the end of that phone call that we just reviewed. You stated very matter of factly that I'd breached some sort of boundary and that you were never going to talk to me again. Here we are, what?
Our friendship is done, Finkel. I will never, ever trust you. And I'm not friends with you anymore.
Yay, good.
Okay.
I'm here now. Liars.
I'm here now because you guys will not leave us alone. You won't quit. And all I want is for Tiffany to be able to get some fucking peace.
If you want peace about issues with GS and his followers.
Why do you care?
Because you're on my channel talking about it after saying you weren't going to talk about it. Talk to me anymore.
Why are you getting involved?
Look, you, I, Muxter, everybody in Hill Pirate Studios or Fine Fix Finish Production, Stonelet, everybody in our circle at the time laughed with, not at, with Sarah the Raging Tomato when her only advice was, Todd, just stop listening and reacting to them. I'm giving you the same advice right now. You want to keep your 10-year-old out of this? Stop talking about it. You want Todd to stop reacting to you? Stop talking about him. You want me to stop realizing that you're full of shit? Stop talking about it. If you have,
I'm not full of shit, so we're going to stop right there. But I'm going to tell you this: I won't talk. No. Let me make you happy, Finkel.
Hold on a second, both of you. No, you're both muted. Don't unmute yourselves. Let me say this. There's these perception problems. Chris, I'm confused as hell as why Finkel's been going over to Todd's. I've told him that myself. But you tend to look at it as anybody who's friendly with him is attacking Tiffany's kids. And I've certainly never heard him cheer something like that on. And God, I forget what I was going to say to you, Finkel, but you were starting to get a little off topic there too.
You want me to stop? You want me to not talk about how last weekend there were people in my yard?
No, that's fine. Hold on a second. I remember what I was going to say, Finkel. It's what you said to him when he said, well, then stop talking about it. And you're like, well, then don't come on my channel. Okay, that's fine. But he also sees you over there with Todd. So you got to think that he's going to have some thoughts about that. Anyway,
Okay.
get back to it. I don't want to take over too much.
That's fair. Todd and Chris, with me, share something in common. I've never met either one. Todd and Chris share something with me else in common. They're very open about their opinions on social media. I'm hearing others, but I'm aware of YouTube. Both have in common that I hear them say things that are like, really? Is that true? And both are saying things that I really have no way of knowing are true. Chris is saying things now recently that are in my sphere of awareness that are wrong.
Like what?
Like I prayed for Todd on my trip
Now,
up here.
buddy,
Huh?
do you mind?
I prayed.
No, you
Finkel.
may not fucking interrupt.
Who? I couldn't see who that was.
Nigel something. You do not come up here and interrupt somebody else. If
Who
you're
the
gonna come
hell's
up here,
Nigel?
you wait for your fucking turn.
Ah. All right.
I'm waiting for
what the
Finkel
hell
to
is-
finish answering. What is it that you saying I'm
Yeah.
lying about, dude?
You know, I haven't kept a list, but that I'm faking Bell's palsy.
I just explained that. I didn't say you were faking.
You insinuated.
See,
You didn't
that's
say-
what I'm talking about, Mustard. He's not going to be able to let it go, and you were wrong.
That's just one of many things. Another thing was
Name another.
on the phone call. We
Name
just
another.
Shut up. See, that's what people like Chris do. They ask you a question, when you start to answer, they interrupt, and they say, "Oh, you can't answer."
You
I
know
can't
why?
answer
You
because
want to know
can't
why
shut
I'm
the
upset?
fuck up.
Tiffany's crying right now because y'all just doxed her fucking kids' names.
I did not dox anybody's names.
Okay.
You said 10-year-old kid. You said
Do
his
you
always
think we
win
want
there.
to put out the situation that we're dealing with that child's father on fucking YouTube?
Stop bringing it up on YouTube.
You just played it.
I played what you've been talking about for the last 2 years.
I have never spoken of that child's father.
Yes, you have.
Not on YouTube. I have not. There are two dads.
Yeah.
There are two kids.
Yes,
I
I
have
know.
never spoken a nil word about the son's father.
I'm aware because you told us that the son has no direct relationship to the children or child who's with Willie and Anna. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that because you told me that. Is it a lie? I don't fucking know. I can't trust you anymore.
So you can't believe that Tiffany's child with a different man after her relationship with William is not in a relationship with William? What the fuck?
When you say William, I think you're talking about Billy and Anna. If you're talking
Yes.
about a child's name, I have no fucking clue.
Anya with a Y. Not you're saying it like JJ says it because he has a hole in the top of his mouth and he's fucking inbred and he can't say Anya with a Y.
I don't care if I call her Anna. You know who I'm talking about. You can read through the typo. You have a brain. You're distracting from the point.
What
I
is
don't
the
know
point?
who lives in your house. I don't know what children are where.
Everybody
I do know
does
that
now.
you told.
Right.
You're bringing this shit to YouTube, and I'm responding.
I
to
didn't
you.
bring it to YouTube. You all
If you
just
don't
played it.
want
That was a
people to
conversation
respond on
I had to
YouTube,
trust with you.
Don't bring it to YouTube. You have said
I told
many
you
times
that you were going to
have
make your
said
own
ma-
choice.
God damn. Yeah,
Let me, I paused it again. Let me say this for Chris's side. After I watched the video, you had said, Chris called and said, this is being recorded. But when I watched it, Chris said I'll just paraphrase it all, but what he was saying is, I want you to know it's being recorded because all my calls are being recorded, but I am not planning to publish it. So as far as Chris was concerned, he wasn't looking for this. I just want to mention, if I had known that ahead of time, I wouldn't have told you send it to me. I would have let you decide to put it up whether you wanted to or not.
Fair enough. Am I on mute?
Yeah, you're okay now.
Okay. All right. Today, on what's today's date? The 26th of September, for the first time we heard the whole thing. It's not the first time we heard part of it. You're right. He said he wasn't planning on publishing. But we have heard that same voice coming from me yelling about the oath to the Constitution.
Mhm.
He published that, 2-3 days ago? I'm not sure when.
That's sure. I forgot about that.
His word, his claim was, I'm not going to publish this. Yes, he will. He will cherry pick and publish the parts that made me look not so good. He's already done. He did it before we
You do
published.
realize that's when you said you were going to publish the call that I just did a little. You can't even get the context out of that clip. I
get the context.
I just wanted to see.
swore an oath.
I just wanted to see if you all really wanted to hurt Tiffany as bad as you have. She is out there crying, saying she will never speak to either one of your asses again, ever.
Yeah, that's what you said.
I
before
just
you came
wanted
up
to
on this
see.
panel.
I just wanted to see.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if you would put out information about what goes on inside of my household to the people who have been stalking and harassing and scaring the fuck. Look, let me show you something. You see this? You know where it goes? What?
It's about this
Watch.
big.
What? See if you want to live like this. Watch. You see that?
I can't see it. No, you're
All right,
about
you
this
will.
big. I'm on a
You
phone.
will.
You're about this big.
This.
I can't.
This is how we sleep. You see the board across our door?
I see a board. Okay.
You live like that. You live like that after 100 phone calls and 2,000 text messages that I'm filing right now that are saying they're coming in your door to kill people, to maim people, to rape people. You live with the board on your door
Who said they're
for
coming
3
to
fucking
kill?
years.
Who said they're coming to rape, kill?
The Kaiser group. They're in your chat, bro.
The group, the unidentified group. Let's just say Antifa or BLM.
No, they're not like Antifa or...
wait, we've already said the KKK, haven't we?
Yeah, Greg is.
Unidentified masses of people are all out to get Chris.
Oh, okay, so none of it's real. None of my text messages I have are real, right?
I have no fucking
None of the
idea.
phone calls I have recorded are real, right?
And
So it wasn't
lately
it wasn't a real recording from Mike Robinson, who is the guy that made the little jingle in the beginning of Kaiser's video. You know, that shit. You remember that? It wasn't real when that guy called, told me my address, told me what my car looked like, told me what my porch looked like, and said, I'm kicking in your fucking door so I can stick my big nigger dick down Tiffany's throat after I shoot you in the fucking mouth with a 357. That wasn't real?
I don't know if that was real or not.
Oh, I know it was real.
Good for you. You know it's real.
I know that the 21 police reports.
What was that name you said? What was that name you said?
Michael Robinson.
Okay. Generally specific. Is his real name Michael Robinson?
His name is Todd Bryant. And if he's on this, is he on the panel? Bye.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought I'd take a shot at two people trying to have a conversation.
Again.
By the way,
go ahead.
I was going to say, by the way, Todd, if you forgot, you're muted.
No, I was just I was waiting for you to call me. Like I didn't want to do what Nigel did. I don't think he meant any harm. He's from the UK, so he might not really understand. He doesn't understand tyrant. very well. No, I just sorry you're going through this, Finkel. But listening to the phone conversation, I think you handled it better than I did. Of course, you had the benefit of knowing that you were being recorded from the get go. I did not have that,
Oh,
and I tried to maintain my composure and respectful posture for about as long as I could until he started screaming at me, kind of the way he was screaming at you and saying things about me that I knew weren't true. And in regards, I like to correct something that Tiffany said. She said that I was prescribed certain medications that I wasn't taking and that I could just snap at any moment. You know, it's kind of interesting. She made it kind of left it up in the air like that was a mental health medication. It was my pain meds because I prefer to not have pain meds in my system if I could avoid it. And yeah, there you go, Tiffany. Way to just leave that out there and leave that little part about the fact that a guy doesn't want to get addicted to pain meds, so he refuses to take them unless it gets really bad pain wise. Yeah, thanks for making me look like I'm some kind of a psychotic person, Tiffany. Way to go with the narrative. I'm glad you left that little part out, lady.
well, I hadn't even thought about that part. Yeah, painkillers. That's
Let me
psychological
let
medicine.
me let me say this, by the way, as far as going forward.
Uh-huh.
I tried to bring Todd up while Chris was here so that Todd could directly answer to Chris and anything that Chris said about him, and they could try to somewhat politely go back and forth on that. And now, if Todd's going to say things about Chris without anybody here to protect him, it's Chris's own fault for leaving.
Well, that's true, but we all just saw Chris's strategy. What we've seen before, he'll ask you a question, and when you try to answer, he talks over you, and you get flustered, and it makes it look like you don't have an answer for his question. I've seen it before. I just didn't pick up on it until it's happening directly to me. Yeah, Chris. Muxer has the controls on this one. It's entirely up to him who he allows up, who he kicks off, and you left of your own accord. However, you did come up after telling me very clearly, both on YouTube and on the phone call, that you weren't going to talk to me ever again. You just did. Anya Meadows. Okay, I'm sorry I've been pronouncing that wrong. Anya. People pronounce stuff wrong. I apologize. You can thank Chris. He's corrected me on the pronunciation of your name if I got it right that time. Anya, Anna. I'm not trying to make fun of your name. I'm just like, see that's what we're focused on. How do you pronounce this name of this person you never met?
Well, then stop rambling about it.
Oh, yeah, I'm rambling about it.
So
I do ramble.
Wait, let me mention something to the chat.
Okay.
I'm not paying any attention at all to chat, so don't be looking for me to be highlighting stuff that people can comment on. I'm not even trying to keep up with what's going on over there. Go ahead, Todd.
yeah, so I just the way I took it when I call him Badger Finkel, when he was angry about what he considered to be an infringement upon my rights, right to peacefully assemble, right to protest, or right to press, or my right to my Second Amendment, of those things, I think that's why he was irritated. And I just wanted to say I understood your. I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Is that on my end, or think somebody's got an open mic or something? And I'm on my phone, so it's real bad. I'm sorry if the echo is real bad. So I understood it that he was upset that my rights had been infringed upon, and I understand that Chris didn't do it, that the state was able to do it. But if you saw how quickly the judge didn't even allow evidence to even be presented, because jurisdictionally, what he did in the process and the forum shopping that he did was in such extreme error that he weaponized the government as his own personal get back at me or get back at me tool. And for a guy who claims to be an activist or even associated in any meaningful way with the First Amendment, I find that repugnant. I would never, ever, I would never go. I mean, matter of fact, I was encouraged to file an IPO against Chris Ryder 4 days before they showed up at my door and served me. And I said, I'm not afraid of him. I don't even live near the guy. I have no interest in going around the guy, but I do want to be able to cover his court hearings. And what they explained to me was that it was reciprocal. And I said, that means I wouldn't be able to talk about him on YouTube. That means that I wouldn't be able to go to his court hearings. And I'm like, no, that's an absolute no for me because I've got an entire audience that is very much invested to include some victims. Well, now we got potentially 2 more people that have been done wrong by a guy who, and you guys, I think you guys have been nothing but trying to be a decent person to this guy. And I'm telling you, and I'm not, I can't diagnose the guy. I'm wondering if he's going to go for an insanity plea to get out of all these charges. Because man, if he's not, his lawyer should. Because I'm not making fun of him. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny at all. Unlike these people, I don't think it's funny. But he needs help, and he's been given so many olive branches and so many opportunities to go get the help that he needs, but he won't. And he's making more victims while he's out on bond. I'm a perfect example. And so I monologued. Thank you for. I don't really. I'm rambling.
Yeah, I can tell you it's natural to do that, especially when you have so much information you want to unload. Um, ugh. I think the feedback was me. I was packing up. I'm outside now. Yeah, I'm rambling. Okay. I too cannot diagnose Chris, but I do see some consistency in his inconsistency. And no, my objective is not to hurt Tiffany. I honestly don't believe she's off in the corner somewhere crying, but if she's is, I feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for anything I've said or done. Uh, and my point is, if you don't want to be around this YouTube drama, don't turn it on. If you don't want to be on Facebook drama, don't turn it on. What people say, what they rant about on various platforms, only impacts you if you let it. If you want to put a board up on your bedroom door or whatever door that was, um, that's you reacting to something that's never happened. Uh, okay, now I'm rambling. I already forgot some of the things I was thinking of saying. I'm old. My memory ain't so good.
Right. So my issue is, yeah, there are crazy people on the internet that would be willing to do and show up at people's homes, and I believe many times Chris and his ilk were bragging and laughing. Matter of fact, they just screenshotted somebody saying, "Oh, Toddy, where are your pews? Did you lose your weapons?" I mean, so talk about look, dude. If you've got boards over your doors, maybe it's because you're afraid that you're about to get picked up again on something that you've done. I don't know. No one that I know has even any remote interest in busting down your door. And if you're going to sit there and try to use Tiffany as some kind of a, I don't know, like a sob manipulation tactic, that's a logical fallacy. That's an appeal to emotion. That's weak, dude. Finkel's up here trying to engage you with an actual back and forth. And by the way, you put that kid's name out. You put the school he went to. You actually doxed his birthday on live streams. Finkel didn't do that. You did it first. You've got his image all over your channels, but so
That was one of my points. Is I'm not aware of the kid's name or what school he goes to, or even that he's there, except for Chris saying it on social media.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know the boy's name until I got served those papers that night. Had no idea what his name was.
Oh, I'm still not sure, but he did say a name that I confused for the father of Tiffany's other child. I don't know if that's the correct name or not, but that's the only actual pronoun name, proper noun name that I picked up in that conversation, and I honestly thought he was talking about Anya's husband.
Yeah, see, but he confirmed that that's not the husband. So there you go. I mean, he's the one doxing it. He doxed his own lawyer's address or picture. I had no idea if that was legitimately his driveway or not. Hell, maybe even Ryder doesn't even know.
Right. And I believe the best way to not be caught up in this stuff is literally let go or be dragged. Imagine holding on to the caboose of a freight train, trying to stop that freight train. You either got to let go or you're going to be dragged across the tracks. And Chris, you're being dragged across the tracks because you just won't fucking let go. I'm sorry. If anybody's restreaming this, I say bad words.
I'm just recording it, just to as proof because listen, man, I truly intend this guy no harm, but it's to the point where he has harmed my bottom line. He's digging into, yeah, he has. He's cost me out of pocket money for the frivolous suit or a frivolous civil claim against me. That's a look. I'm not used to this stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm not used to having to get lawyers. I mean, this is ridiculous. But he's talking about me losing my Second Amendment over what? I didn't even know the kid's name,
Right.
and he's saying I'm a danger to him. And this whole like having somebody outside of his house, he claims he's got all these cameras. And I guess their last live, they said, "Oh well, we spent the last couple hours repositioning the cameras." Well, that's convenient, claiming you're now repositioning the cameras so you can get the image that you claim was in your driveway that you made up whole cloth in your head when the person that you claimed was there taking a picture was actually in my StreamYards in Jersey. What are you talking about, dude? Like, who are you, dude? Like, what are you even talking about? He was doing a Tommy Pickles skit. It's a cartoon from like Rugrats or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not clear if it's kid or kids, plural.
I got to
There's
interrupt
only
again first. I got to
there,
interrupt again for a second here. Uh, I just happened to glance over at chat, and I see Rats So to the Moon say, "Aaron, honey, you can leave if you don't like it," and whatever else. See, this is the thing people who haven't been around don't know about me. Don't fucking try to moderate places where you don't belong. Don't tell other people that they can leave. If I want somebody to leave, I'll take care of it. If Killing Time's around, he'll take care of it. There's Ariel. He usually doesn't care what people say. But I don't like other people in chat telling people what they cannot say, or telling them to leave. This ain't your fucking channel. It's hardly Finkel's at the moment.
and I do appreciate
Hey,
the
that's all.
opportunity. I do appreciate the opportunity to come up on panel. My wife actually recommended that I don't go up while Chris was on there because he would claim that I was stalking him. Probably would have been smart advice. But as you said, it was an opportunity. I knew that Muckster was going to mute. I knew I wasn't going to lose my composure.
Right.
But at the same time, I also didn't want to see Finkel getting body shotted left and right by this guy and feel like I'm just going to hide in the shadows. No.
Well, I actually thought it was more likely you would come up because I made the mistake of taking him at his word that he was never going to talk to me again. Oops, Finkel was wrong again. Why was Finkel wrong? Because he listened to Chris Ryder.
Well, I'm partially glad that he did come and want to give his side. And I know you didn't catch it, but one thing that he said that I realize now what he meant, it's still not a good thing, but when he said about I don't buy the Bell's palsy, and what he went on to say then was, I think it's much more serious. So on the one hand, I was wrong. On the other hand, it's still, a fuck you.
I think he was low key basically saying he had mental issues. That's what I think he was trying to say. He was having a mental
Well,
breakdown.
that's definitely what he's saying.
I've also been accused of having something wrong in between my ears because of a car accident. What they say, a traumatic brain injury. I can't remember who said it, but yeah, no, my ironically, my head had nothing to do with the injuries. But at risk of Muxer kicking me off what's currently his stream, he is in charge. I would opine that the way you read Rats to the Moon's thing, she wasn't kicking or trying to kick somebody out. The way I received it was, if he doesn't like it, he can choose to leave. Of course, I didn't see it, so I probably got it. I'm getting a lot of shit wrong these days.
Yeah, I see. I just got to make sure I nip that stuff in the bud.
Okay.
So, if I may, you said something, Finkel. You said something that really kind of echoed in my mind, and I think I typed it in the chat, but I know you weren't able to see it very clearly on your phone. I'm also on my phone currently, so I can't see what people. Thankfully, I can't see what people are saying in the chat. You said exactly what made me be confirmed that Chris Ryder is lying or is a liar. Often is you said something that I found to be very, very profound, and that was because he's saying things that I know not to be true about people, not myself, or people in my circle. That's when it really clicked for me. So,
Yeah.
and as soon as you said that, I'm like, thank you. That's exactly what made up my mind that the man couldn't be trusted.
Exactly. I honestly, I don't know from racist squirrel throwing, from what kids are living in what homes and states that I'm not in. I don't know any of the stuff to be true, but all these things I accepted as truth are coming from the same mouth who's now saying things that I do know are not accurate, not true. I don't know if he's intentionally lying or just he's so paranoid that he's twisting things all around. But I'm realizing this guy is more capable of being fallible than I should have given credit for, as he's saying shit for as long as I've known him. And most of that shit I have no way of confirming or denying. I believed it. And because I believed A, I believed B and believed C. And by the time we get to the XYZ in my circle, I've built up this probably very false encyclopedia of facts that really may not be facts. I don't know if I'm articulating that correctly. Yeah, I was thinking about that squirrel video. And as I recall it, we saw who he calls Greg. We saw the people in the protest desk, and we saw the squirrel. We never actually saw Greg throwing the squirrel. And, I believe the narrative. Yeah, Greg threw the squirrel or dropped the squirrel. However, Greg allegedly delivered the squirrel. For someone who's recording everything, how come we never saw that? And why didn't I ever question that in the past?
So I didn't even know anything about that narrative until probably a week ago, where it was where it was explained to me that it was, I think we were in StreamYards,
Yeah.
and from what I understand is there was a dead squirrel and somebody had just mowed the lawn, and I guess they had run over the squirrel and it ended up like tearing it up and chucking it somewhere.
Yeah.
And then that's why there was like this squirrel there. I don't know if that's true. That's what I was told. I didn't even know about the whole squirrel thing. So, I mean, that was all new lore to me about a week ago.
Oh, okay. It was a considerable amount of time ago, and I can't remember exactly how long ago. But I swallowed it whole as presented by Chris. Another thing I swallowed whole as presented by Chris, and I think it was Ariel and Killing Time who called me out on it, and on that issue, and I should have realized, oh, this guy is inaccurate. He said that I should have said his real name. My brother's keeper confronted him with a gun at Meade County. And I'm like, holy shit, really? And then we went over the video together with Killing Time and Ariel. I believe Killing and Ariel, correct me if I'm wrong. But,
Actually, it was me and Killing Time,
okay.
and what's his name was also on the panel at the time showing his video.
Okay, thank you for, yeah, okay, pointing that out. In that video, we never saw a gun. But I took it hook, line, and sinker that there was a gun, and everyone else on the panel who was trying to be neutral and trying to be objective, they said, Finkel, you're wrong. There was no gun. I just imagined a gun because I told there was a gun. I don't friggin' know if there was a gun or not.
It was an empty holster.
I'm sorry?
It was actually an empty holster. It's in one of my videos. I think actually MBK or My Brother's Keeper,
Yeah.
actually, he's been putting out videos. He has a whole collection, and I finally encouraged him. I'm like, you've got so many of these videos that Chris has gotten rid of or didn't want anyone to have. You
Right.
should probably clip it up and make some videos. So if you want to have an enlightened moment, matter of fact, it's funny because he's. I'm sorry. Oh, that's loud. Matter of fact, man, I don't think I can get on. But I could share. I don't think I can share it on here though. But there's a clip that he sent me where he's basically saying, "I thought we lived in America. I thought I could be on a public sidewalk. I thought that I could go to a court hearing. I thought all the things that he's telling me to not do, even though I don't have any injunctions against me lawfully or any reasons why I shouldn't be able to do these things. All the things that he said, I might catch new charges if he keeps following me around. What do you mean following you around? You're the person I'm reporting on. I'm not following you around. When you go to a court hearing, I have every right to be there legally. I'm not harassing you. You guys, if you guys have seen my videos, matter of fact, I could have followed him like any other journalist the whole way, peppering him with questions. The way he went running to Jamie Knowles' hearing or his perp walk, laughing, him and Tiffany laughing and enjoying and celebrating. I'm sure Jamie Knoll, even though he deserves to be in jail according to what he's been charged with, I'm sure he would have preferred that Chris Ryder and Tiffany Napier weren't there laughing and recording and mocking him at one of his low moments. But when I was there to support Chris 3 times, he didn't say a negative thing about me. But it's only when I'm there to report on him so people don't get fooled by his BS. That's when he has a problem.
Yes, I think you are accurate in that assessment. As we're talking, my mind's spinning, and I'm looking at the clock. I want to go by 5 minutes till 7. I want to attend an AA meeting. The Second Amendment. I am certain that the Second Amendment, written and as intended by the founding fathers, is interpreted differently by Generally Specific and myself. But my point on the violation of that right was, however the courts have deemed to interpret the Second Amendment stands for everybody in the state of Kentucky, except for those few days, Generally Specific. And I saw no reason why he should have a different restriction on Kentucky's interpretation of the Second Amendment than anybody else in Kentucky. It didn't make any sense to me. And that's why I got loud about swearing an oath. And yeah, you're right. Whether I swore it or not, my yeses meant yes. Well, so when I said support and defend the Constitution, I meant that I will and I would. And I don't see an expiration date on that. I see an expiration date on my term of service. Not my what do you call it, ETS? Yeah, my contract with the Army expired, but that oath didn't have an expiration date, I don't believe. Hello, hot mess. We're going to go have a drink. Yeah, how dare you?
Well, fair enough. But I think what's being forgotten, though, David, and I appreciate those words, is that my wife also lost her ability to defend herself. And everyone wants to like be protective of Tiffany. Well, what about my wife? She ain't done anyone any harm. She doesn't have her own public channel. She doesn't go out there and say you'll be in a pickle if you touch me. She's not out confronting cops. She's a very private, quiet person. And the very few times that she has been on, thanking the people that supported her family, they ridicule her, and they try to ridicule her to get to me. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
So we got.
and I'm guilty of that. If I do come see the Patton Museum, I would like you to ziplock my hands behind my back and offer Mrs. Specific an opportunity to slap my face, because I was a part of that at one point, and I don't know how to make an amends. I can apologize, but I don't know how to make an amends Yeah,
Well, I could,
I don't know if I can come out there to see the Patent Museum and maybe JJ's jail, but if I do, I want you to tie my hands behind my back and offer the opportunity to slap my face.
no, she already told you. I listen, and I'm telling you, Finkel, my wife is not the kind of person that lets bygones be bygones very often.
Yeah,
And I had a conversation with her. There is no malice towards you in her heart. You have been forgiven. There is nothing left to forgive. So I mean that. I mean, there wasn't even like a little side eye, nothing. And that's really unusual. So whatever journey you're on right now, dude, I'm for it, man. I'm here for it. And you don't have to stay alive for me, man. We can end it right now if you want to. But I appreciate the opportunity. I'll hop down unless you have any questions for me.
it's the Muckster show. I'm just here until 6:55.
Okay.
Whatever Muckster wants to do with the show.
Well, thank you for having me. And Muxter, you have any questions for me or?
I will mention one thing. I was thinking about when you were talking about people mocking her. I saw one of your videos in Hill Pirates, and it looked bad. Whether you, whether it looked, whether it came off the way it looked or not, it looked bad when you were filling in words for her. It kind of looked like you
Yeah,
were coaching her.
she's so nervous. I mean, she said that she wished she would have done it without the camera on. But yeah, she was really, really nervous. She even texted me. She's like, I don't know how you do that. She's like, I do not like being in front of the camera. So I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not like that at all. My wife is probably one of
Oh,
the strongest women that I've ever met.
let me say this before people start drifting out. Just
Oh
on
yeah,
my
she's
own part.
strong. She's been married to you
Hey,
for.
shut up already! I'm talking. Jeez. Um, for my part, well, there's one thing I'm going to be doing today. Anybody who wants to see the telephone video, it's been deleted. It will be going back up on Shadow Finkel once I fix something I missed.
Oh,
And I was telling Ariel, I think yesterday, after this, I'm kind of taking a break from all the Todd and Chris stuff, unless somebody throws some red meat at me and I just got to do a
yeah.
video. But otherwise, yeah, no more.
Okay. That's fair. And I'm trying to let what, you know, there's things I agree with Muckster on and there's things I disagree. Agree with for public safety and disagree. Generally specific, there's things I agree and disagree. And I'm going to try not to let, well, if one of y'all out there say something I disagree with, I'm not going to involve myself, but I want to put it out there that just like I did Mrs. Specific wrong, I honestly believe when you change Tiffany's name to what is it, Tifa Ho or Lot?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that, and I don't ever want to join in on that. But if I'm on a panel and somebody else says it, I'm going to do my best not to get upset about it. Let them talk the way they want to talk. But just because I'm on a panel and someone says Tifa Ho doesn't mean I'm on board with changing your name in that format.
Yeah, I can agree that there was a long time where that was my biggest thing about Wrangler that I just stopped watching him for almost 4 months
Yeah.
because he was saying some really disgusting things. I myself have kind of joined in on that. Probably not my best look. However, after realizing she's likely the one pulling the frickin' strings on the whole entire thing, the fact that I have another copyright strike on my account based
Oh,
on him taking my video, putting his watermark over my fucking video, pardon my French, and then he copyright struck me while he's reviewing my video. As I'm reviewing him reviewing my video, he copyright strikes me. Not
wow.
only that, he's talking about not only that, he's talking about continuing to try to come after me with lawfare. This man deserves no one's pity. That has no remorse. He's like he wants to go shark eye. That's fine. Okay, I'm just saying I know exactly who he is and what he is, and challenge accepted, Chris. Challenge accepted.
Copyright striking for you using his use of you. Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy right there, Chris. If you're listening, that's crazy. And I think you know it's crazy. Wow. Okay. All
So
right. Well,
let me mention something to Chad again, as I see Aaron's name going by. By the way, Aaron, the fact that I shut down Ratso earlier, don't think that I was somehow taking your side. I still think that you're a juvenile little troll. Hey, let me tell you before you have to go. This is just something that, speaking of chat, something that amused me that I wanted to mention to you. That Seven Cities guy came in, I think yesterday when me and Ariel were doing the deal,
I got on the
and
main.
he kept saying stupid crap about you and stuff. And I forget exactly what it was. And Ariel said I overreacted, but you know, fuck Ariel. Um, anyway, what I got a kick out of, and just why I had to do it, is I said, look, Seven Cities, you're in my house. You're not in someone else's. You're in my house right now. You're not going to get away with that shit. And he came back with, I'm not in the Muckster house. I'm in the Finkel house, because he was on the Shadow Finkel. And I said, oh, really? Goodbye. I mean, you know, that's like dangling a steak in front of a hungry bear. You're going to say, "Oh, you can't do anything to me. I'm in a different channel." Yeah.
One more time for the 67 people watching. The live tabs on the Finkel channels are co-owned by a group of people who we're in a serious labor dispute with. And so yeah, they control it. I control the videos and the shorts, but they control the live tabs.
All right, just want to
Go ahead.
I just want to say, big fan of that song, "Killing Time Dinner." That was brilliant. I appreciate it, and I really love that little icon that's up above Finkel there to his right top shoulder,
Oh,
where
you
it's up.
bastards!
Oh, I love it, dude. I absolutely love it. Please send it to my email. I'll definitely support that.
You
Well
know,
done. Thank
I
you
asked
again.
them,
Go
I
ahead.
asked them about that in text, and they never answered.
Well, that actually is under control of one of the members, and they are kind of particular. They'll make it for somebody, and they mean it for that person. So it'll be up to them whether they want to share it with you or not.
Fair enough. It does have my face on it, though. All right, I appreciate it, you gentlemen. I'm going to listen. I'm going to hop off and look forward to many more conversations.
All right, thanks for coming up, and I guess
And
thanks
being
for public
mostly
safety.
calm.
Huh?
I said, and being mostly calm.
Oh, I
Thanks
thought you
for
were talking
coming
to
up
me. Yeah,
and for
I
yeah.
got upset again. Yeah, I got upset again. I got about 5 minutes if you have anything else for me.
God, there was something I was just thinking of, and I don't know what it was. But oh no, I was just gonna say on people like challenging me and stuff. I don't know how many times I've said to people, "Would you read the fucking name already?" It says it right there under my name, Tyrant.
Oh, the tyrant. Yes, the ineffable tyrant, or something like that. Okay. I see. I see two chats at a time. Old oh no, it's gone. Ariel. No, I don't give a S what you guys do, whatever you want with it. Okay. And Emma Payne at Kelly, not one little bit. Don't know what I missed, but
I think
okay.
I think what Ariel meant there was shit.
No,
Just saying.
he would never say shit.
I'm
Who's
not
the,
sure what the I'm not sure what the Spanish for shit is.
yeah. My mom saw a couple of my videos. She said, you sure do swear a lot. I'm like, yeah, sorry, Mom. You weren't supposed to see that. But I'm reminded of, what was the comedian's name? The 7 words you can't say on TV?
George Carlin.
George Carlin. I remember one time he said, if you've never shit, fuck. And if you never fucked, shit. All right. I January Specific entered the studio. He's back.
He thought of something.
Okay.
You don't got much time.
Yep, I know. I actually finally read the text message from Rats to the Moon, and she wanted to let you know that the reason why she told him he could leave is because he was telling you to drop me from the show. That Aaron
Yeah.
Queen guy. So
It's
yeah.
just my little screen just extended to everybody in there. I mean, it would go the same for Aaron. If I'd seen him first saying, "Get rid of Todd," I would have given him that same lecture. Don't tell me what to do.
Fair enough. And on that note, gentlemen, I bid thee a fond adieu, a farewell, something like that.
Okay. And if what he just reported is accurate, when we get into these labor disputes, I'm going to suggest you make her a mod because she was protecting your right to be a tyrant.
She's obviously not objective.
Okay.
I
All
will take care of the negotiations.
right. I was hoping for public safety would, but I guess he's out.
So anyway, I did say that for anybody that wants it, the telephone conversation will be re-uploaded because I don't want people to think that we decided to hide something or whatever. It'll probably go up very
I'll bet it
quickly
was
as soon as yeah, I'm sure that some, but for others, there was one spot I missed. And I'm so grateful that Chris decided to come in and announce that to anybody who might have missed it and decided, oh, I'm going to go look for it now.
Yeah, I guess now that we know the alleged child that allegedly is with him has an alleged name that's similar to Anya's husband, if you find that, maybe edit that out. But to be honest, we don't know if that's the correct name.
Yeah. Well, I had edited the name out in another spot. I just missed the one where the other place where he said it.
When you put it in unlisted form and I reviewed it, I didn't pick up any child's name. Of course, I was probably confusing a name with somebody else. I didn't realize that was the child. But he put right here on this stream, he put it out. All right. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette and go to a Zoom AA meeting. You all have a wonderful day.
Happy drinking. Oh wait, no, that's the
wrong program. Yeah.
wrong alcoholic group.
Yeah, not the one at the bar. The other one. All right.
And well, let's say this before we shut down. Everybody in chat, thanks for being here. Even though I know 95% of you just wanted to come in and say, "See, Chris sucks," but I tried. I put the video up. When I first was looking at the video, there were so many places I felt I could make comments, and I thought, no, I'm going to present it as is and let people. Anyway, get to your meeting.
All right. Sherry, do I? The only option I have is end stream. I don't see where I can leave the studio.
I'll hit it. It's a lot easier for me.
Okay. All right. Hit it.
Hasta la vista.
I don't know what those two putas are talking about. I am the wind beneath Finkel's.
Hold on. It is obviously me. I am the wind.
You guys, this is stupid. I knew him first. Obviously, he is nothing without.
Oh, you knew him first. I am so sick of this. I knew him first bullshit.
Me too.
I don't care what anyone says. I am Finkel's favorite.
If it wasn't for me,
he'd just be one more rambling old man on the internet.
Come on, you guys. Why can't we all just get along? To be honest, I like to think I am the wind beneath my own wings.
Shut up, Finkel.